Hello, happy Sunday. It's about 2:30. I tried to record this clip already, but I was talking forever. And did I push the record button? No. That's about par for the course of how today has gone. It's just me and the kids today. Josiah is in Philadelphia. I think he probably just landed for work. He's got some important work stuff tomorrow. So he'll be back tomorrow night super late after the kids go to bed. Whew, it's just me and the babies today and tomorrow, which normally is fine, except I have church this morning. And the little one, y'all, he is a disaster. Nova's pretty good because she's old enough to like understand not to just snatch everything. And I understand it's just the age he is, but geez Louise. He smashed a glass vase on the floor. I don't even know where he got it from. I took my eyes off of him long enough to shake a trash bag and put it in the trash can. Like, what is that, 5 to 10 seconds? And he had smashed a glass vase on the ground and sobbed hysterically when I wouldn't let him play in the shards. So I had lots of fun things I could have filmed today if I had had any hands to do so, but I did not. Just been trying to keep my head above water. My arm is absolutely killing me. This thing. It was sore this morning, but definitely holding him a lot this morning has made it much worse. So I did my exercises. I don't have time to put any heat on it or to do any like magnesium oil rub for the pain, just because I can't be attached to a wall and a plug at the moment. But hopefully after they go to bed, I can do that. Definitely going to be pushing the easy button for dinner tonight because I ain't cooking anything. So maybe we'll go to Culver's or we'll go to Five Guys or something. Those are places I know that the baby can eat without having severe allergic reactions. So yeah, it's been super fun. I'd like to crochet while everyone's out here and happy and wandering around in the sandbox. But I'm also so tired, I kind of just want to stare at a tree. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I have a special chocolate to eat to boost my mood. What are you eating?
Cake!
Hello. It is only 7:23, but it feels like midnight to me. Nova was so tired that she asked to go to bed early, which is unheard of. Like, on what planet does that girl ever want to go to bed? Not this one. She wanted to go to bed. She was asleep at 6:15. And then I put the baby to bed, which took a while, even though we only had a 30-minute nap today. And then I very much could have crawled into bed exactly as soon as he was in bed, which was about 20 minutes ago. But instead, I have been sitting on the couch using my heating pad wrapped around my arm. And I was thinking earlier when I checked in, I was like, my elbow is killing me. And then this afternoon when we were at the park, I was like, oh, it doesn't hurt so bad right now. Maybe it's because maybe it was just a fluke. No, I took ibuprofen. I'm so dumb. I took ibuprofen, that's why it felt better, because it definitely has worn off now and it hurts really bad. So I'm here trying not to be weird. I'm talking to you, but I'm also giving myself an elbow massage. And you can tell that my elbow has been subjected to a lot of heat because it's all red, but that's fine. So I feel like there were things I wanted to tell you. I put one row. The only yarn time I have had today is just now when I was having the heating pad on my arm. I put one row on my artist cardigan. I am halfway through the back of that cardigan, which is pretty awesome. I think I have a clip that I will put in, or maybe I already put it in, who knows, of it laid out completely flat and then laid out like folded from the front on top of the back. I don't know that I'm going to be doing any other yarning because I don't know that that's a good idea with my elbow the way it is right now. I probably should just go to bed anyways. My husband did make it to Philadelphia late because there was some shenanigans with the airplanes. Of course there was. But he's there and I'm here. And I have another rant for you. Last time was in health insurance rant. This is a parenting rant. So it probably doesn't apply to everybody. But like, you know what really grinds my gears? I can't even do this with a straight face. It does really irritate me though. This is like a pet peeve of mine. When parents let their kids bring toys, a collection of toys, to the park, a public park, and then the toys are not for sharing. So if you bring a toy, like if Nova ever brings her bear, Princess, that is her most special bear friend in all the world, that she sleeps with every single night, I would never expect her to share that bear. It's one toy, it's never gonna leave her side, right? She keeps it under her arm at all times. But if she brought a bucket of toys, say for example, she brought all of her Spidey friends, of which she has a literal bucket, to the park, she would be expected to share them. If she brought trucks and cars and tractors, she would be expected to share them, because you cannot bring a bucket of toys to a place where kids are and then not let them touch it. So we went to the park. I pushed, oh boy, did I push the easy button. After we came inside, we left and went and got ice cream. And then when they were hyped up on sugar, that was like at 3 p.m., we went to the park and stayed there for about an hour. It was like a playground. And it was fenced in, which was awesome. So Noah was just living his best life. There was a little boy there for a while who had some trucks that he was sharing, and so they were just playing, and it was so, so cute. They left. Some older kids moved in, and I'll talk about that in a second. But this little boy, who was probably 3, came in with both of his parents, and he had a bucket of Paw Patrol figures. So he probably had 10 Paw Patrol plastic characters. And he did not want to share them. So he's carrying around a bucket. Now, if they had stayed in the bucket, that would have been one thing. But he started setting them up on the playground structure, like making arrangements with them. And of course, Nova ran over there and was like, hey, do you want to play? And he was like, no. And then that made her sad. But, you know, not everybody wants to play. Like, that's a life lesson, right? He continues setting things up, and Noah wanted to go investigate. All of the other kids at the park, of which there were probably 5 or 6 inside the fenced-in area, wanted to go investigate, and he was like, no, I don't want to share, I don't want to play, don't touch my toys. Had a full-on meltdown because everyone wanted to touch his toys. And both of his parents were not like, hey, if you don't want to share those, put them away, they're going back in the car. they were like, oh, you don't have to share, buddy. You don't have to take turns. Those are your toys. If you're not ready, we'll just wait until you're ready. And then proceeded to let him keep setting them up in the middle of the playground structure, like on the steps. And I was just like, generally, I try to keep like whatever parenting is happening away from like that are not my kids. It's not mine to judge. Like, I have been there. I know what it's like. Kids are insane. Parenting is insane. It's super hard. But like, if you're not gonna share the toys or make your kid share the toys, then don't bring them to the park. You are asking for a meltdown. Like, what is wrong with you? I don't let Nova do that kind of stuff. Like, if you bring toys into a public place, it better not be your special friend, because you know you're gonna have to share it. Or we don't bring toys at all, right? Like, that's the rule. And his parents were so weird. They were just like offended that other children would want to play with these magical toys that he pulled out and set up in the middle of everything on the steps. People. Then, that kid, they finally left. We were still there because we had ice cream. So we had some energy to burn. And the group of older kids kind of moved in, and they were probably, I'm going to say 8 to 12. And that's fine. Like, I love when older kids want to still play, because it just makes me so happy that they're being kids and then they're not like on their phones or like, you know, off in space somewhere in their brains, like not being too cool to run around. And so they were running around, but they were not being careful. And that is not their fault, right? Like, yes, they should know better to like watch out for babies and small children on a playground made for small children. But like, they're still children themselves. So I think putting that responsibility on them is a bit much. Their parents were all there. They were all standing right outside the fence. They could all see these kids, okay? And they start playing tag in the playground and in the structure. And there are babies. Like, Noah is 15 months old. There was a baby who was smaller than him. There was a baby who had just learned how to walk. And then there was some toddlers, like 4-year-old Nova, almost, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old. So there was like small children around. And they start running around like crazy people, like up, climbing, leaping over the structure, leaping off of the slides, like just being wild. And one of them full on like laid Noah out, like just ran him over. And Noah, being the tough little guy that he is and having a sister who frequently runs him over, literally just laid on the ground and was like, and then just got up and continued on his way. Thankfully, the ground was soft. But like, my pet peeve is the parents were all standing there. The adults of these children who were not being careful were all standing there watching this happen, and not a single one of them were like, hey, you need to go play tag outside the fence, or hey, you cannot run up and down the playground structure when there are literal babies climbing very slowly up the stairs and like going backwards down the slide with their little feet first because they can't do it the regular way. Like, I stopped a couple of those kids, which I'm a firm believer in. Like, I'm not going to be out parenting other people's kids, but if you're going to be hurting my kids, like, I'm going to say something. And I am not a confrontational person, okay? So it's hard for me to do that stuff. But that one kid who like just ran into Noah, he was like, oh, and he tried to keep running. And I was like, excuse me, you just ran him over. And he was like, oh, embarrassed. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay, but you need to be careful. There are small children here. You need to slow down. And he was noticeably slower the rest of the time. And he even came and pushed Noah in the swing for a little bit, which I thought was very sweet. I think it was his way of apologizing. But like, where are your parents? Okay, I know where they are. They're right outside the fence, talking, playing on their phones, not noticing at all that that kid told me he was 9. Their 9-year-old just ran over a 1-year-old and laid him out flat on the ground. No. So anyways, that's my rant for today, is people. None of you are doing this, but if it reaches, I want this to reach through the interweb to somebody who like lets their kid run amok in a playground. People, keep an eye on your kids, man. Don't let them take out small children, and don't let them bring toys to the park that they're not going to share. That's the end of my rant. And that's about the end of my massage, because now it's getting more sore than helpful. So So this part I've been massaging it every day for almost a week now. This part feels a little better right here. Like when I touch it, it used to be so painful, just all in here. This feels better. I think the massage is helping. The problem is the main pain for me is right here on top of this bone where this tendon connects. And I can almost, like, you know when you like get a shoulder massage or something and you have a knot, like a muscle knot? That's what it feels like, but it's a tendon. And there's like a lump right here. And I can feel it like moving and wiggling and like running away from my finger. And I don't think this is helping at all. And that is exactly where I whacked it on the dryer, right here. And that is the part that is so, so painful. I don't know what to do about it. I have physical therapy again on Tuesday. And I'll probably have a couple more before the end of December. And then I see the doctor again in January. And I don't know what he's gonna say. The last time I was there, the physical therapist asked me if I had gotten an MRI on my elbow. And I was like, no. But it doesn't make me feel good that she said that. It really doesn't. So yes, it is 7:34. I almost want to go to bed right this second, but I think what I'm going to do is I have like 20 minutes of a holiday baking show left. I think I'm going to put that on. I'm going to knit a little bit on a sock because that's really easy and not a lot of movement for my elbow. And then I'm going to go to bed. My goal is to be in bed at like 8:10 at the latest. Because tomorrow's another day and it's just me and the kiddos. So this is a very, very long vlog with mostly me chatting and mostly not vlogging. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. If you've stuck around this long, you should just know I love you, okay? I love you. I love you deeply. Thank you for being here. Thanks for listening to me rant. And if you have a rant about children running amok at a playground, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear it. See you in the morning. Good night, friends.